Let's talk about what most interior designers charge. The national average for interior design fees range from $50 an hour to $500 an hour, with the average, like most interior designers, charging about $100 to $200 an hour. This results in project fees that are on average, not always, about $5,200 per project, not including the cost of furniture, of course. I think it's also important to talk not only about what interior designers charge, but also how interior designers charge. I'm hoping that this gives you some insight into how you want to charge. Hourly is a really common way interior designers charge. That's when you work an hour, so you bill for that hour. Simple as that. Typically, that's billed at the end of the month as a collection of all the hours you worked that month. That results in monthly billing. Let's talk about the pros and cons. A pro is that you're compensated for every hour you work. So if something needs a little more time, care, or attention, you're compensated for that. Some cons of billing hourly are, first of all, that it puts you in adverse goal to your client. They want the project done fast. You want the space to work as much hours as you want to deliver excellence. The other thing is that it deteriorates trust because you're going to bill them for 15 hours and they're going to be not sure you worked 15 hours. Then what I see happen all the time is that interior designers don't actually charge for all their hours because of fear that the clients are going to reject that amount of hours. You don't want your clients to be questioning every hour that you work. The other thing is that it limits your growth. So the more advanced and the more seasoned and the more experience you have, likely the faster you'll be able to work. I don't want it so that the faster you work, the less you make. It should be opposite. The faster you work, the more expertise you have, the more you make. And I know that you can tell me that, well, you raise your hourly fee, but there's only so many raising your hourly fee that you can make up for the less hours you're charging. Another con is that it's harder for your potential clients to say yes to you in the sales meeting because they don't ultimately know how much this will cost. It's hard for people to commit to the price of something that they don't know what the price is, which makes the sales process have much more friction. Another popular way interior designers charge is by way of something called cost plus. Cost plus is when a designer charges a percentage on top of everything that they buy for the client. Usually this is something like a 10 to 20% markup on all purchases. A pro for this approach is that you're compensated as the project scales up, because the more they add, the more they buy, the more you're managing, but the more you're making. So your income grows as the project grows. The cons for this approach is that it can deteriorate trust between you and your client because there could be a seed of distrust planted when they're not sure if you're recommending a product because it's expensive and your fees are tied to how much they spend, or if you really actually believe that this is the best product for them. A con of working this way is that in the sales meeting, again, it's challenging for the client to buy something they're not sure how much it will cost. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, Katie, but it's easy. They would know how much they're going to pay because they know their budget and they know it's 20% or 10% of their budget. Well, I want you to consider that in my experience, over a decade of doing this and literally countless numbers of sales meetings that I've gone to, very few clients actually have a clear understanding of an exact number they want to spend. It's more often the case that the potential client asks me how much I think they should spend on this scope of work. The third most common way interior designers charge is by flat fee. And this can be a flat fee per scope of work, or a flat fee for project type, or a flat fee by way of packages or service levels. This is about coming up with one number that you use for every project and every client with the same type of work. The pros of pricing this way is that it builds trust with your client. They always know what bill will come and exactly how much it is. And people like people they can trust with their money. So having clear, easy, standardized billing is going to cultivate trust between you and your client. Another pro is that it's an easier yes in sales. It's an easier yes because people buy things they understand. People don't buy things that are complicated that they don't understand. So if you can easily deliver your pricing information right then and there in that sales meeting, it's an easier path to them saying yes to buying your services. Another pro is that it's clear, easy, straightforward billing. You know, we talked about in billing hourly that the client is going to get your bill for 18 hours and then be like, did you really work 18 hours? What is this 5th hour that says you went to the post office? Like, do I really need to be charged for going to the post office? Like, none of that is applicable when you charge in standardized pricing with standardized billing, because they already agreed in the sales meeting to what the price would be, what the bills would be, and the schedule of the billing would be. So when you give them a bill, there's no question. It's just an easy, here's the check. The other pro is that you're able to plan out your income. Once you land that project with that standardized pricing, you can map out and know exactly how much you will make in the months to come. That's a huge benefit to financial planning. The other pro is that this is the greatest path to unlimited growth potential. If you can decouple or separate the amount of money you make from the amount of effort it takes, that is the greatest path to unlimited growth potential, because what you do get to couple is the income that you make to the outcome for the client. And when those two things are matched, that is when you get to charge way more, irrelevant of how much time it takes you. And the more experienced you get, the less time it takes you. The less time it takes you while you make a lot of money means a lot of profit. The cons of pricing this way are that sometimes projects take a little extra time or need a little more care, or some things go wrong and take a lot of your attention. And because you're not charging hourly, that time that you spend on that is coming from your profits. But don't worry, because I know you're on this channel right now, so you're seeking growth, that I know you're the person that is good at what you do and dedicated to excellence. So I'm not concerned that this is gonna be a major issue. And because the profit margin is so great when you link value to outcome for your client, there's gonna be a lot of room to make up for that difference. Let me know in the chat which one of these ways of charging is resonating with you. We talked about pros and cons for each, and I'm really curious, like, which one are you feeling like, you know what? Yeah, that's the one I want to choose. I read every comment because I'm interested to know. And because you're watching this video, I know you're dedicated to growth. And since I know you're dedicated to growth, I know that you would want to like and subscribe because that is a really good way to consistently be educating yourself.